I'm Dianemarie Collins, and you have entered the DM zone, and we have some really special guests today. And I've got three of them. Hope you can see us all on the camera. We've got Skinny DeVille, 808 Blake, and Scales right in the center there. And they are known otherwise as Nappy Roots. Welcome, y'all.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You guys are just really amazing because not only are you Grammy-nominated musicians in a genre that normally comes and goes, y'all have been around a long time. How many years?
Oh man, we've been doing this for almost a little over 20 years now.
That's a long time in your genre especially. But you were with a major label and things should have been great except that y'all went, no, we'd like to do a little something different. So what'd y'all do?
Well, we went independent around probably 3 years after our second album with Atlantic Records. We decided to go independent and take more control over our careers, basically.
Yeah, and part of that was because you wanted more artistic. Is that correct?
Right. It's just being able to do what you want to do and make the music you want to make without someone dictating how you're doing it or what you're doing.
A lot of people don't understand that with the label, they have all these focus groups and everything else that tell you, and if something's not working, then they tell you how to fix it.
Yeah, they do. And, artist development is something that hasn't been in the music business for a while since the change of the industry into the digital era. Now it's more cookie cutter, microwave, get in and make something right now, get it out. Back when we were signed, there was artist development, and they kind of helped us develop who we were going to end up being anyway. And so, now that part has been missing, we decided to kind of go out our own, like Scale said, and do it independently and be our own creative, development and, do it our way.
Absolutely. That's the neatest thing is that because you are developing your music, you're also, though, on the business side. So what is that like, Scale?
Well, I think that's the American dream, is to own your own business, not to work for somebody else in most cases. And leaving a major record label is pretty much doing that. It's taking your own career and learning how to turn it into a business. Taking yourself and learning how to turn yourself into a business, and branding yourself. And that's a risk that you take. And most people in America want to do that.
I totally agree. Blake, so what part did you find the easiest and what did you find the hardest?
About owning your own business? When the difference between being on a major and being independent is you have to do everything yourself, and it just takes a little bit more work, definitely a lot more communication, because you got to think about from a song from inception to actually how you're going to put it out and market it. And so usually you have a team of people when you have a label behind you that you just got to make the music and then they'll take care of the rest. But when you're an independent artist, you got to really think outside the box about how to promote the project, whether it be a project, a record, whatever like that. Just knowing how to work it and to keep it going and to keep your fans interested in it. That's probably one of the harder things for a lot of artists when they come from a major to being an independent artist.
It's called marketing, and that is really the hardest part. It's like if you make an independent movie, $1 or $2 million is a big budget. But with the Hollywood budget, they have $200 million, but they may have as much as half of that in marketing. Right. So y'all had to learn how to market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah? And with that, did that kind of develop into your next entrepreneurship? Because now, after talking music, and you all are still very successful and you're still working at it, but you suddenly started going, I want to try something else, or what was it, Skinny?
Yeah. I mean, as we tour, we were doing and still do kind of average about 100 shows a year. And so when we go to a city, we would hit a brewery before the show just to kind of get the feel, the lay of the land, maybe try to promote and get some people to come from the brewery to the show that night. And we end up getting tours of the brewery. Some breweries in state, the law made you take a tour first of the brewery before you could actually get beer. So we had to take the tour every time and then get drink tickets and just hang out and just try different beers. And so through that, we got presented with the opportunity to make our own beer in 2016, promoting our Another 40 Acres album release, and we made Front Porch. We got the opportunity to be hands-on and actually make the beer by dumping hops and being part of shoveling the grains and turning the levers and knobs. And
Y'all got into it way more than we did. I told you we had a microbrewery, but no, I just sat and drank a lot. I was a taster.
Yeah, that allowed us kind of to learn hands-on with the process, and we kind of got interested in figuring that out a little furthermore because we saw an opportunity for us by how we tour and the places that we do go, how that makes sense for our music and our style of performing.
Now, I was going to say, because y'all still haven't you're not with your own building. You were still using or renting other breweries to create your creations. Is that correct, or was I wrong about that?
Right. We're kind of what we call a gypsy brewery. We just bounce around. We're able to bounce around because as artists, we're doing shows all over the country. So we use that time to meet brewers all over the country. And then it's almost like right away we can agree to do a beer. Just the vibe and the relationship developed so fast between us and the beer community that it's like, yeah, let's do a beer. It's almost for certain. If we go to the brewery, we've created a relationship to do a beer. So
it's that organic.
It's very organic and it's quick. We love beer. Beer is a big part of who Nappy Roots is and how we met each other. So we can sit down and have a beer with anybody and talk, and so that's what happens a lot when we're on the road.
Now, Blake, I was going to say, I also understand that your beer is hitting a certain palate. And I just, as a beer drinker, I didn't realize they were different. I mean, I like all beer. Well, That's not true. Most beer.
We definitely tried with the first beer we made, the Front Porch. It was definitely something that was lighter, that was crushable, easy to drink. But as we've, dove deeper into it and really tried to figure out what it is that we like making, we've made the Humdinger. That was a stout, and we've done, like I said, we've done the Bootlager out of Idaho. So it's really just figuring out what we like to make, and honestly being artists. I mean, creating and experimenting with different types and different flavors and different palettes, and figuring out which one is our staple. And so our latest creation was the Nappy Goat, which was a strawberry smoothie IPA.
That's the one I tried when y'all were at the brewery here in Atlanta.
That's our first IPA, and that was something.
I love an IPA.
Thank you, and we kind of like to think that we're bringing hip hop and craft beer together.
Right.
And nobody really knows what that flavor is, and we feel like we're in the forefront of creating it.
I'm not sure I would know what that flavor is either, but y'all are definitely the ones to know that. That's right. You are definitely the ones to know. Now, what do you see in the future as far as music? Let's flip back to music. If you got something else going, and then we'll go back to the beer, because I understand there's going to be some tastings, some different places. So let's try music. What's next on the horizon?
Well, with the beer and the music, we have to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. So we're releasing a new album next year in 2020. We have a new single lined up that's getting ready to be released as well. We're going to try to get it out the month of December, but we decided to wait until the new decade and catch the momentum of excitement of everyone just doing and going into a new era that, 2020, like, you've heard about it, you've seen about it in movies, and that's the future, And so we're looking forward to the future with our music and continue to have a good time and have fun touring and continue to get our brand of Nappy Roots, hip-hop, Southern conscious, down-home, feel-good, blue-collar baller,
I was going to say, the difference in your music for me is that y'all have some melody in there mixed in with the rap, and as a singer, believe me, I like that. So tell me about that.
Okay.
Go ahead. No.
And the major thing we got for 2020 is also working, as we've been in music for a long time, we're getting to reach back out to younger artists, and you guys will probably meet ones coming up next. But just being able to work with youth and younger artists that are hungry and want a chance to be featured on stuff, we've really been blessed to be able to put and have a platform to put some younger artists on some records that they probably wouldn't have a chance to be on. And so you can expect a lot of that with, still classic Nappy Roots, but there'll also be some younger voices on there to just push music forward and to kind of reach back and give back.
Right.
I was going to say, I call that paying forward.
Right.
It really is, because y'all are paying back, but you're paying forward because it's going to reap back for you all too. And are you just as happy making music now as you were then, 20 years ago?
Honestly, it's so many things life throw at you the older you get. But yes, music is still therapy. Music is recording with my brothers, my bandmates. I still get that feeling when we're actually in the studio recording. Yeah, there's no feeling like recording music as Nappy Roots.
I was just going to say, because you were so excited about making the beer and saying the tasting and everything, and I just wondered, well, what's more exciting, the beer or the music? And I think it's pretty equal. Is that right, or what do you say, Skinny?
I don't know. I'm kind of partial, man. When I started, in college, I didn't have any kids. I just had a girlfriend. I was just smoking weed, hanging with this guy, trying to get through school. And when I graduated in 2000, we came down to Atlanta, and I slept on his couch. And I had one child at the time. He was in diapers. He was born in 2000, so he couldn't.
He's 19 now.
Yeah, he's 19 now, and I have 2 more kids and a daughter and a son. So I think the stakes have gotten a lot higher for me. Now my hip hop, it takes care of my family. It keeps the lights on. It keeps the car insurance. It keeps groceries on the table. It takes care of other people. And so I think the responsibility has gotten a lot more to where I don't want to say I have to do it, but it's a career more than it was just a dream. Back then it was a dream, and now I'm actually 20 years in, and I wake up every day doing this the same way every day, and it's so I have a different perspective on it now than I used to.
But are you one of those people that when you get up every morning, you say, if you do what you love, you're never going to work?
Yeah. But I get up like, let me get up. After I've laid there for like 2 hours and flicked through the channel. So I do have I have a different way to look at it. But I love it, though. I do love it, though. I do love it.
It's not work. It really isn't.
Kind of said what I wanted to say. Like, recording music is great, but this new movement that we have with beer is new. It's fresh. And you really can only be new one time, and this is us coming into the craft beer world brand new, and people are excited and wanting to see what we have next, as opposed to music where we put out our first album in 2002. It's a brand that we're blessed to have that's still going and still good, and so we will continue to feed it, but beer is very exciting right now.
Because it's a new adventure for you. Yeah, I understand that. And so when you talk about it, Blake, then the new adventure is where?
Just like I said, just the whole landscape of beer. It's just it's fun. It's exciting. It's something that that we've been pushing for, and we're also working on the TV show as well.
Now let's talk a little bit about the TV show. Now that I loved it. It's 40 acres. Doug's granddad owned 40 acres, but this is spelled a little differently. It's cute. Spell it.
It's AKERZ, and it's 40 Acres and A Brew is the name of the TV show we've been working on, and
that's being filmed right here in Atlanta.
It is. We're gonna shoot a couple scenes. We have a local film company we're using called PAM Studios, and so it'll always take place at our home brewery, which is called Atlantucky. And so it'll always start there, and then it'll follow us around, not even just the state of Georgia, but across the country as we go to different breweries and we learn little tricks of the trade while also meeting different brewers and basically, seeing the world from different people's perspective all over beer and really just finding that common ground. So we're really excited. It's been a labor of love to do this show, and we're still learning our way through it. Transitioning from making music to actually doing television, but we're really excited to really 2020 to really showcase that and put that out for the world to see.
Now I was going to say, I would imagine some of your songs, your tunes have got to be backed up and used on the show as well.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
We got a cross market here.
We wouldn't have it no other way.
Hopefully do a soundtrack for the show, which is a lot of what we've been talking about with a lot of the new music is actually tying it into the show, into the release of the show, is making it a soundtrack and kind of curating that from the theme song to just music you hear within the episodes. These will all be not even just classic Nappy Roots, but also new Nappy Roots songs as well. So,
but all put into the whole thing of the 40 Acres TV show, and it's 40 Acres Brewery, and you said the brewery was at Kentucky, because part of y'all are from Atlanta and the other parts are you're from Kentucky. So, well, that is just fascinating. I also want to add real quick that I understand, and I'm not allowed to say who or where, but the brews, your craft brews, are about to be launched on an airplane.
Lord willing.
Yeah.
Lord willing.
Might be. See, now that was probably a little snippet of something out in the front. So when y'all see this, you'll go, she knew. They knew. I love it.
Look out, flying around. might see us sitting next to you at enjoying some good brew.
We have our sights set on a few things that are not just, our heads are not just in the clouds. We're trying to have our beer there as well.
I was going to say that's the whole point. You said it best when you talked about loving entrepreneur. Every man and woman, child in America, when you grow up, you want to be entrepreneurs. You want to own your own business and do your own thing. And I think that's so cool. It really is.
Yeah, and we're excited, man. Like I say, we like to think that we're in the forefront of hip hop and craft beer coming together. So who knows what's gonna happen? A lot of things are in the works, and we're excited.
That's awesome. I've been visiting with Nappy Roots, and you have been in the DM zone. Come back soon.